Namaste. This is Ramchander, your MLC, and speaking on NRR TV to reach you to explain with regard to the achievements of Narendra Modi ji government in the second term or the first year of the second term. We all know that the Parliament for the past 67 years have passed several legislations, enactments, and today we are in fact using those acts for various issues. But in the 2019 Parliament, it's a year for the lawmakers. The Parliament has never been so active, so proactive in making different legislations, passing different bills, and discussing on the various amendments. The first being the Triple Talaq Act, which has now in force, which is now in force. It has been enacted by the both houses of the Parliament, and today Muslim women in the country are very happy that they have got an act with them to protect them. Secondly, the Article 370, a 70 years long pending contentious issue. This contentious issue, which was not being solved by the previous governments, they were sitting idle on it, allowing Article 370 and 35A to be imposed in Jammu and Kashmir area, even though it was a temporary transitional provision. But it was Narendra Modi's government. It was the efforts of Mr. Amit Shah that within 3 days, and with due process and procedure through parliamentary process, the Jammu and Kashmir reorganization bill was passed. And today, we are seeing a lot of change in Jammu and Kashmir. The benefits of the government of India's programs, schemes, the enactments which were not hitherto were being implemented in those states, that is in the Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh region. Today, they are all have to be implemented there. Today, we feel that integral part of our country, Jammu and Kashmir, remains for us. They also feel that today we are really integral part of our Indian nation. That was a great achievement by the Narendra Modi government in this parliament session. And then there was a CIA, though there was a lot of misnotions spread by some people, some section of society, those who believe in dividing India, the urban Naxals, all these people who try to spread false message, falsehood, and then try to create unrest in the country. I think CIA was always needed in this country. It was not the BJP, it was even the Congress party. Manmohan Singh also spoke several times on this issue. CPA spoke, CPM spoke, several leaders since the India became independent. Every time it was discussed in the parliament, what about the refugees in the country? So there was a different, in fact, it's a bold step by the government of India to protect the minorities of our neighboring states like Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. These are three issues which are, in fact, ideologically very dear to BJP and Johnson then. But apart from that, there were nearly 29 bills which were introduced in the parliament. Some were new bills, new acts, some became new acts, and some became the amendment of acts. And most important is that we must remember that these enactments which were being in force in our country, some of the amendments were even prior to independence. They have been not amended several times. In spite of few political parties had the majority in the parliament, both houses of parliament, they did not care to change the nature of the enactments with the changing times. But today we must be proud that for the first time in 67 years of our parliamentary history, 29 new legislations were introduced. Amendment bills were introduced, and they were all passed. with parliamentary procedure. Though BJP did not have majority in Rajya Sabha, thanks to all the other opposition political parties also who supported the government and allowed the parliament this amendment of the bills to be passed in both houses of the parliament. I would just like to list out certain enactments which are passed in the parliament. And there, as I said, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill, it's Citizenship Amendment Act Bill, and then you have Triple Talaq Bill. Apart from that, we had Companies Act Amendment Bill 2019, and then it amended the 2013 provisions, and then repealing of the amending bill in Lok Sabha. The Minister of Law and Justice Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, he introduced the bill, and then we have the Industry Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Bill 2019 to bring reforms in the banking sector. Then we have Code on Wages Act 2019, the National Medical Commission Bill 2019, Right to Information Amendment Bill 2019, banning of unregulated deposit schemes bill, all are public important bills. These are all concerned with the common man. And then banning of unregulated deposit schemes, banning, and then protection of children from sexual offences bill 2019, wherein a lot of reforms, a lot of amendments were made, and Smriti Irani ji on July 18th, 2019, this bill was introduced in the parliament, and then and this act seeks to protect the children from offences such as sexual assault, sexual harassment, and pornography. And then the arbitration and conciliation bill, those who are all advocates, they will know very well. Just today, we need to have some amendment in the Arbitration and Conciliation Act, and that was introduced. The Motor Vehicle Act, though there was some misgivings on it, it was also necessary. Within the department introduced this bill, and then we have a Airports Economic Regulatory Authority of India Bill 2019, and then Central Universities Act Bill. Now it has been Act now Bill 2019. The protection of human rights. There was some amendments in that particular act, and then we had National Investigative Agency Bill 2019, wherein certain changes were made in the provisions of law. Then Unlawful Activities Prevention Amendment Bill. This is very important because this act, after TADA and quota was repealed by the government of India on from the political because of the political pressures and because of vote bank politics, the only act to contain the terrorist activities is the enactment of Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, and there was some amendments in it to see that this act serves the purpose of containing the terrorism in the country. Then we have Consumer Protection Bill, we have Public Premises Eviction, Unauthorized Occupants Amendment Bill, the New Delhi International Arbitration Center Bill, the Central Educational Institutions Teachers Bill, with where the teachers trainings and all are being given, the Indian Medical Council, then Dentist Council Bill, and then Special Economic Zone, SEZs. We know there's some lot of changes are there because to it should deliver the what for what purpose it has been formed. Because SEZs we have in country, but all the SEZs are not delivering the the main aim of the act, and that's why there was a need of amendment. We amended it. The Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Bill was there. That also soon after that bill, we introduced this bill for to implement the reservation policy in Jammu and Kashmir in all the appointments and promotions in state government. And then Aadhaar and other laws were also amended. Then Homeopathy Central Council, wherein Ayush Department is involved in it. And then we have the Muslim Women Protection Rights on Marriage Bill 2019. The Muslim Brothers, what I said with regard to the triple talaq. And then Constitution 124th Amendment Bill. And these are the certain amendments which in 2019, nearly 28 enactments were introduced in the parliament. In last 67 years, the parliament had never seen such a business. It has fully, full utilization of the members' inputs by both by opposition and the ruling party. And I think in a parliamentary democracy, the functioning of the parliament is very important. The opposition tried to disrupt the parliament in earlier days for no use because it is people's money through which the parliament runs. And we are thankful to the Honorable Prime Minister that he has taken care to amend all the outdated laws and try to make this enactment so relevant in the modern society that everyone will get the benefit of these amendment act, every section of society, every woman, children, all other people. So therefore, I think we must. I thank once again Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji for having taken so much of pain for the sake of nation. Because of you today, the nation is proud. The world is proud of you. Even in this COVID-19 situation, you have been helping the people in a very fantastic manner. And today you are rated one of the best leaders in the world. And we congratulate you for this. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I think the people of this country always bless you. Thank you very much.